Alright.
I think it's about time I got out of here.
Okay. Act 3 is over.
Hey, Dakota. Just wanted to, try again to check in. I haven't really heard anything from you since you left to go to that cabin. I don't even know if you're getting these voicemails, but the songs you sent us are exactly what we needed.
Wait, he wasn't
Early
even
impressions are
talking
already
to
saying it's
them
some of your best
through the
work to date.
radio. I don't
Listen,
think.
I know that you left that letter
They
with your
stopped
demos
smoking.
saying that you're done making music, and I respect you want to step away, but I just think you should reconsider. I don't know what you experienced over the course of that month, but whatever it is, I'm sure we can work something out. Please, call me back when you get the chance. Yeah? Bye.
They made their way out. They quit. Wow. There's still the matter of the bong, yeah. There's still the matter of that figure. Never did find out what it was, the granny. It goes. No. Yep. Oh, that squeak from the strings.
When I found you, 10 toes off the ground,
Ah,
it was hard to fight the feeling
it's
that was
lovely to hear
wrapping
this
around.
after all that.
Oh
Wait, Finn was Alex Lee? I did
and
not
I've
know
been
that.
so far from you.
I guess he did sound familiar. Wow. Okay.
I stare into that portrait, I relive that scene. The red door and the TV set
Oh,
burned into
yeah, the
time.
TVs
Oh
too. R-
it was all because of you.
Paintings by Linda Shaw.
But I have to stop myself from going down that
Um.
road you did.
Oh,
I only have myself to please, and I'll make what I want, and I'll only make for
they
me.
learned. They learned. Art Bar Morgantown.
I won't hold blame or carry a new name. I won't make the same mistake.
Mm.
Oh my, it was all
Ooh, big buff and handsome, handsome. Ah, yeah, huge, absolutely amazing. Thank you for playing. Honestly, thank you for making the game. Oh wait. Oh, we're back at the title screen. Well, shit. There were some extras. Oh, New Game Plus. Ooh, gameplay modifiers. Infinite ammo, infinite battery, invincibility, one hit kills, caffeinated. What's that mean? Slated, dithering, film noir, oil painting, CRT, night vision, sketch, comic book, psychedelia, um, ASCII, AC, inverted letterbox. Oh, I mean, what happens if I go continue again? Just takes me back to the last checkpoint before. Oh yeah, okay. Well, love the game. Loved it. Oh, hello? Was interesting. Love the message. You know, messages. There's multiple. There's so much depth to this game. Uh, First of all, I don't know. The painkillers. I feel like they were a part of the story in a way. Like addiction. That addiction to those painkillers. Because that cigarette addiction, the alcohol addiction, and the pills alongside that. I do believe. You know, and grief, loss, all that. Depression. It all like they go hand in hand. It goes hand in hand. You know, addiction and depression. All of it goes hand in hand. One, they both lead to each other, one way or another. Um, Not all the time, but I'm speaking from experience. Um, but her brother. He was Finn, Alex Lee, Daredevil. He let all the criticism and such get to him. Like all the criticism on his passion, his joy, it got to his head because he got to the point where he wasn't making the art for himself anymore. He was making it for other people. And that's why he asked Dakota, about the painting, how it looked. 'Cause he couldn't judge it himself because he wasn't like an outside perspective, and Dakota kind of, you know, is also not really an outside perspective. That's Finn's sibling, they know each other, all that. But like Finn just wanted to see what somebody would say potentially about it. somebody that wasn't him. And then he went to the exhibit, and it was like day and night from his mood before and then, after. Because Dakota went to a concert, I think, to do a show, and Finn did the exhibition. And they were both, excited. They were joyful, if I remember correctly. Um, Only that one had a negative experience and one had a positive experience, I'd say. But they got, they both got home. Dakota got a call from Finn, and he needed help desperately. He didn't want to be alone because he knew what he would do if he was alone. And Dakota didn't think much of it because, like they said, they thought they knew Finn. They thought they knew him. And they thought that Finn wouldn't do what he did. So that's why they didn't even have that possibility in their head. They didn't even think of it as a possibility. So they they did their work, and they even told Finn, "Hey, I'm gonna do my work, and then as soon as I finish it, I'm gonna be there. Now I'll go out on the 1 hour drive." And that sucks that it was a 1 hour drive as well, because, well, the 1 hour drive, that's a long 1 hour is a long time. It's enough time for somebody to do something drastic. Even like 10 minutes is enough for somebody to do something drastic like Finn did. So maybe we don't know when Finn did it, when Finn hung himself. It could have been right after the call, it could have been 20 minutes after, 30 minutes after, an hour after, or right before Dakota arrived. Probably not because he was already dead, I think. But if Dakota got there on time, chances are Finn probably still would have not been alive. But Dakota didn't know that. Dakota didn't know that. Dakota thought that if they got there on time, that Finn would still be alive. But that's not like 100%. It wasn't guaranteed. So they just blamed themselves for that because they thought that they didn't get there in time. If you catch my drift. So it really fucks with Dakota. Really fucked with Dakota. Dude. The red door. The red door. Hmm, the meaning behind the red door being like the like a drag path. You know, it's like the door is the reminder. It reminds you. It is a trigger. If you see a red door anywhere, it takes you back to that place, that memory, that headspace. And like shit. Because to Dakota, the red door wasn't just the door to Finn's studio. It was the door that led to a life altering event where they found their brother dead, hanging from suicide, and them thinking that they could have stopped it, they could have prevented it, that it was their fault. It led to the guilt, the sadness of losing somebody that they were very close with. And especially because I think their father died as well. They Finn was probably the only one that Dakota had left. So there's so much depth, so much. And the ink, the tree monsters, those things, they look, to me, they kind of look like the painting, creature, the creatures. They kind of look like the figure in the paintings, sort of. And they're also like filled with ink. They can't they gurgle on the ink because of the ink that Finn used to paint and such. And the ink is absolutely everywhere throughout the entire game. The ink was in the water, clogged up the water. The ink was thrown up by Dakota, and it was there was I think Dakota was actually the one that like dragged all that ink into the cabin as well. And I think the ink and Dakota like stepping in the ink, I guess, is like every step they take is they feel is a wrong step because of the music they make. They feel that every step that they feel like taking is a wrong step because of what the audience, what their fans would think, like a step in the wrong direction. Shit. Still, really don't know what the fucking significance of the granny was. Um, I think the statues was like fucking weeping angel statues were also like one of Finn's paintings. I think the creatures were all Finn's paintings. I think. Yeah, the granny might have been well, the granny and Rob probably were just one and the same, like a producer label, um just like leeching and sucking Dakota dry. Like enabling kind of. No, not enabling. Kind of the opposite, disabling. Something like that. I don't know. Shit, But in the end, Dakota stopped the cycle. It was huge. Um, not like it's not like a cycle. Like it doesn't go around and around. But Dakota didn't do what their brother did. They didn't do what Finn did. They were going down that same road, but Dakota took the time to stop, just let their emotions out, like like in that conversation with Finn, sort of, at the end during the campfire. They just let all their emotions out, and then with their songs, they put every time they went to the doors, they went to that same headspace they were in, I think when Finn died and they put all that emotion, all that sadness, that anger, all that they put that into words, what they were feeling, and that is how they sort of got their closure, how they coped with it all, how they started to realize because well, I not to not to toot my own horn, not toot my own horn, or to advertise or just what the fuck. I write music as well, and what helps me is putting myself back in a headspace of like a moment, a memory in time, like or in a scenario, you know, and I get myself in that headspace of what's currently happening, what the emotion was, and it helps me put like words like onto paper, pen to paper. So I'm feeling all that raw emotion. It's just coming out. It's oozing out of me, and that's a way to cope. And just getting it out because while you're not speaking to anybody directly, you're still getting it out through that song, through that writing, the poetry, the harmonies, the vocals, the instrumentals, everything, the tone. You're getting those emotions out. You're you're letting them be known. You're letting them out, and that's how you cope. It's like therapy to me. It's, but hey, um, I didn't 100% the game. I didn't do everything. I didn't get all the sound cues, whatever, sound recordings. I don't think. And the pictures, I don't know what the pictures meant, really. I don't know if they were just like there to be there or if they were actually important. Like, I thought at the end I was going to be able to choose one of the pictures to put as the album cover or something, but I guess not. I don't I'll have to look it up later or something. Yep, beautiful game. I have been waiting for this game for like I don't know how long, at least a few months. I don't know, I heard about this game a while ago, and I was like, you know what? A horror game that's about a musician that's in writer's block. This, I like the sound of that. And I said to myself, I'll say it again. I'm a musician. I like the sound of that. I feel like I could relate to it, and I thought it was gonna be just like any other horror game, kind of where you're just fighting monsters, fighting monsters. I thought it was gonna be like Resident Evil. It's a survival horror game, and well, it is survival horror. You are fighting monsters, but I thought that was just gonna be it. I didn't know how much depth there was gonna be. I didn't know how many lessons, how many messages. I didn't know. I didn't know about any of that. All I knew is that musician, writer's block, horror game, cabin. You know, so but holy shit, yeah. And let me just say, I really needed this, honestly, to just remind me um, of certain things. Don't. don't worry, first of all. Like, just somebody will feel your loss and they might blame themselves, If you were really close to somebody, they will have lost somebody that they deeply cared about and they will feel like shit and blame themselves more likely than not if they sort of knew about your situation, but because you kept saying, I'm okay, it's all right, I'm fine, all that, they thought they took your word. It's just a good reminder of a good scenario, or it's a good reminder of a scenario that is realistic. It just adds that trauma, that that awful memory to somebody's head, somebody's brain forever, that sticks with them, and it leads them down these paths that they will find it really hard to get out of, and they'll find themselves getting into some shitty fucking um vices. They get into smoking, they get into drinking, pills, weed, drugs, everything. Dakota had they smoked cigarettes and weed, drank beer, they took fucking painkillers, all that, and probably fucking shrooms, honestly. Yeah. And also another part, not so big, but well, not not so big, not as big as the other part that I just talked about. Um, do things because you like them, not because you want somebody else to like them, like it. You know, do something because you enjoy it, and don't try to cater to everybody else. Cater to yourself, stay true to yourself and your passion, your joy. Like, fuck what they say about what you are passionate, because they can't change you. They can't change how you think. They can't change what you will write, what you will say, what you will feel. They can't change that. Only you know what you want, what you love, what you are passionate about, what you want to do personally. So, right? I'll give this game. I'd say I'll give it a mm, out of 10. I think. 7.3. It's a pretty vague number, honestly, but 7.3. Yeah, it's not 10 out of 10. Obviously there are some things that need to be fixed about the game, or not fixed. Um, some things about the game that are a little bit wonky here and there. Some minor details, you know. Um, like I don't know, the combat was a bit iffy to me at some points. Like, maybe it was just bad aim on my part, but I swear I hit those trees, but I actually didn't. The hit didn't register for some reason, and I just wasted ammo. Like, that happened multiple times, and like the with the axe. too. Like it's kind of iffy. There was that one moment um where I was just hacking down one of those fucking creatures, and it just like kind of walked past me, kind of, and let me like fuck it up. I don't know. It was wonky, and like the hits didn't really register at all either. Like the hit registry, hit reg was pretty off sometimes. That is one criticism I will give. And hey, no hate to creators. This game is about not letting the criticism, not letting the reviews, all that shit get to you. That's part of the game's message, you know. And I hope that the creator, the devs, all of them. I don't know how many people worked on this game. I forgot. That there were credits, you know. That was. I hope that everybody who worked on this game. I hope they don't look at the reviews, look at all of that, look at all the criticism, and say, "Fuck, I did a bad job," you know. Like, fuck, I should have done this better. I should have, you know. Like everything's you're learning as you go. You're always learning. Your entire life, you're learning something new every day. And well, fuck, you may be able to fix some mistakes that you made along the way, but sometimes it's not worth it, you know? And you use that knowledge for later. You take that knowledge, you apply it somewhere else later on. Anyways, yeah, that's it. W game.